and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Star Citizen now for 4.1 is now in Evocati, and CIG want to put it out to wider PTU real soon, within the next couple of days, they said. Potentially tonight, but more likely a couple of days because there's Evocati problems with patches like these, and they need a bit of ironing. So we're going to talk about the patch and patch notes and what's available in there at the moment. We've also got some new hotfixes and updates for Alpha 4.0.2 and the Supply or Die event. And it's the RMD RX 9070/9070 XT release day today. All the cards at time of recording that I was trying to get have sold out. That's more of just an insight into my life and something I'm annoyed about. Anyway, Alpha 4.1 on Evocati. So this is focusing on stability and bug fixes and a new upcoming event mission. They are keeping all the details limited to test in-game communication. This event will utilize 2 new locations in the Persistent Universe, Hathor Platform Alignment Facilities and Hathor Orbital Laser Platform. You may recognize these if you played in the Theaters of War sort of tests a while ago. We're not going to do much in the way of spoilers today. We'll probably check that out in another video when we can actually show some stuff from the patch, because at the moment we can only talk about it. So features and gameplay wise, there's been a heavy fighter archetype balance pass. So joint health, thruster power and max speeds have been adjusted for heavy fighter archetypes. Most of these speeds and thruster adjustments were needed due to thruster weight changes that have gone into 4.1 and should bring them back in line with 4.0.2. So they want players to keep an eye on that and let them know if they feel different at all. Landing gear rebalance for many ships to help balance their weight distributions. The Argo ATLS can now be destroyed. That Argo Titan suit can now be destroyed. They've updated the health and damage states. Note that this patch does not contain all the intended features, which will be added iteratively to the notes as they become available, or they want to focus testing on them. So be aware of that. When those sort of features that are ready for testing reach a playable state, they will be added to the detailed patch notes and then into the testing focus. So there are some things not ready for testing or feedback. So these are either partially implemented or just not ready yet. Tier 0 item recoveries, which is currently disabled in the initial PTU release. We also have a redacted set of locations, and there's also updated character skin and eye shaders and wrinkle maps, meshing mission updates and vault weapons. So they'll be adding this stuff in later or making it a bit more robust, a bit more updated before actually chucking it into our hands. But there's been loads of bug fixes here from 4.0.2 for transit, player teleporting, ship despawning, mission functionality, elevator issues, and then a load of ship-specific issues as well. Now, there are a load of known issues still. So the initial 4.1 build also contains extensive transit logging to help track down the hardest to find issues, because they want transit and elevator and tram and train issues all to be as solved as possible. And a lot of the issues from 4.0.2 are still listed in the known issues. Even some of them may have been fixed, and this ranges from transit gateways, Commorane missions, PvP missions, stowing, party members on the star map, jump point, asteroid sort of attacking you, a big range of stuff. Also, destroying an Argo Atlas gives players a crime stat 3 charge for homicide. The Murai Guardian will spawn without its landing gear deployed and can't be entered. They've temporarily disabled laser damage from a certain portion of the new event as well. So there are things that they want to solve, although it's not awful for an Evocati build. They are trying to get the stability up and performance up and get rid of some of the most egregious bugs. So things you should know. The Alpha 4.1 item recovery tier 0 stuff, that is basically going to be when you respawn with your equipped loadout still. So your weapon, your armor, bam. And your weapon and your armor effectively can't be looted from your character's body. The equipped ones anyway. Anything else that's in your backpack or in your armor and that sort of stuff can still be taken. This is evolving into tier 1 and tier 2, and that's going to be a lot more friendly to PvPing and being able to retrieve for items a proper balance in the future. But tier 0 is a little bit less PvP friendly, as it were, with the looting. Or maybe it's more PvP friendly if you want a more arcadey experience and not have to worry about faffing around with regearing your character when you respawn, right? So I'm interested to know what people think about that, but I suppose I want people to try it first and actually go, how often do you loot people's gear off them compared to how often you are going to sort of be respawning and faffing around for an additional like 15 to 20 minutes with getting new gear. There shouldn't be a wipe in this patch either, so more stuff will carry over more consistently according to Cloud Imperium, including contested zone loot, keycards, etc. from 4.0.2 to 4.1. You should be really happy with the progress carried over and be able to freely farm in the current live build, and that should all be carried over to 4.1. Some volatiles may still get wiped, like meds and ammo and refinery jobs. Bear that in mind. The patch is likely to include some other features that we haven't discussed, because obviously it is a major patch. 4.1 is a major patch to a degree. It's bigger than a 4.0.x patch, if you see what I mean. There may be something for April 1st triggerfish in there as well. This might also at some point start the new B arc of missions for the narrative mission stuff. And CIG have reiterated as well that they want to get 4.1 to wider PTU real soon. The goal apparently is to start opening up the build to further waves ASAP, potentially today after some time with Evocati, but we'll have to wait and see on that. So yeah, really excited for 4.1 going to wider PTU ASAP because we can get some footage of it and we can talk about it a bit more. Alpha 4.0.2 has seen a load of hotfixes as well, specifically, or at least more focused on the supply or die event stuff and commodity adjustments. So along with a slew of hotfixes, commodity prices have been updated with supply or die while the supply or die event is running. So these sort of prices jump up. This change will not remove the cargo hauling side of the event players are enjoying, but will make sure their payment matches the effort given by the other routes players get these resources in. So these new supply and demand prices are not permanent and will be adjusted back after the event. So buy and sell prices for these items have been greatly increased. Tin is increased by 7,300%. Ice is increased by 3,300%. Copper by 2,900%. Corundum by 2,900% as well. Detatrine is 50% the price, from 9,000 to 4,500. Supply and refresh rates for these have been drastically lowered for the event. All of these changes bring the effort versus reward for shop sourcing versus mining to about even. So yeah, CIG are going to continue putting in some tweaks and hotfixes for 4.0.2, but obviously there's a lot more focus going to be going into getting 4.1 as bug fixed and as ironed out as possible. Also remember that the Fight for Pyro event is still running simultaneously to Supply or Die. If you're playing in 4.1 Evocati, please tell me what your thoughts of that are in the comments down below. And 4.0.2 live, what are your thoughts with that? Are you having a great time? Are you having a terrible time? Do you like the changes to the prices for those commodities? Also, it's the AMD RX 9070 XT and 9070 release day. There was some talk about amazing FPS updates and support with this card for Star Citizen. I suppose it's compared to the previous AMD card generation, the 7900s. I am 100% GPU bottlenecked with Star Citizen on my GeForce 3080 at the moment, and only hitting around 70% CPU utilization with my 7950 X3D. So yeah, I was considering trying out a 9070 XT, though I am concerned a bit about productivity. I might get one, I might wait until later this year and see if there's an XTX or some other sort of improvements. I'm really interested to know what other people's thoughts are in the comments below, although it might be academic because I have looked and everything seems to have either immediately sold out or added 100 to 150 pounds onto the price while I was looking at buying it. Oh, what's that? Maybe you should comment down below about your thoughts, because we're giving away a Super Hornet Mark II with Heartseeker kit and a game package and lifetime insurance to one lucky commenter on one of my videos during March. So yeah, comment down below to be in for a chance of winning that lovely Anvil Super Hornet Mark II, kindly given to us by CIG. Also, also, something else you might want to get is nordvpn.com/BoredGamer. Links down below. Get yourself a VPN. Be safer and more privacy-driven on the interwebs, while also giving yourself potentially more accessibility. I use NordVPN. Maybe you want to as well. There are links down to Toby Eye Tracker and Patreon, and if you want to support the channel, and we've also got that join button under my videos. But liking, sharing, subscribing, that helps loads too. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the verse.